Hello students, today I am going to explain you the chapter Toasted English. Toasted means modified. The British introduced English to the Americans when they reached there between the 16th and 17th centuries. But the Americans later on modified their English. Here in this chapter Toasted English, the famous Indian author R.K. Narayan had said about the development of American English. All languages go through a process of development and change. So, languages go through a process of development, and languages are updated. Okay. Now, here R.K. Narayan said about the evolution and development of American English. In American restaurants, they call for toasted English. They say it for modified or modified English. Yes. Americans, they baked, they prepared muffins, a small cake which is actually originated in Britain, but it is baked in America. Likewise, they use English which is originated in Britain, but they modified the English. How they modified it? There are certain process. I would like to discuss it gradually. Now, one noticeable result of this toasting is that much of the formalism surrounding the use of English has been abandoned. So, the Americans, they abandoned the formalism that is in British English. How they discarded it? By avoiding passive voice. There is no passive voice in American English. In Britain, notice boards and whatever information is given to the public or their language is used formal language, but in American they use direct language which is very simple. If it is written in British English, trespassing prohibited, that will be written in American English, do not walk as it is newly planted. So, what is the difference between American English and British English? American English is simplified. In British English or in Indian English, here in India also we follow British English. Notice boards are written in passive form or in formal language, like under municipal act, so and so this area has been reserved, etc., which needs much attention to understand. Whereas in American English, simply they write the simple language they use, and the language which is understood by the common people. So they write like do not enter, go, wait, instead of writing trespassing prohibited, you are not asked to enter, etc. Here the author expressed one experience of his. That is, in a Hollywood studio, I was rather startled to read Mark Steven's Skip Out. Now, who is this Mark Steven? Mark Steven was a famous television personality, and when the author went there in Hollywood, he found in that outside his room it is written Mark Steven Skip Out. Means he was very important personality and busy person, and he didn't want to be disturbed by others. So he wrote it. Incidentally, the author is saying, incidentally, it left me wondering why, if Mark Stevens did not like interruptions, he announced his name at all on the door. But is one of the minor mysteries that make travel through the country so engrossing. Now, the author is saying his stay in America was very interesting because he found many mysteries there. Now, according to my observation, as Mark Stevens, he was a very important person, so many people will come in search of him, and when they will come and they will read out the word keep out, they will understand the person is busy, so not to disturb him. So it's very easy expression. So first point, how the Americans modified their English is the simplification of the language by discarding all formalism of the British English. Second point, that is some basic keywords which may be used anywhere, anyhow, anywhere and anyhow. So what is it? Multi-purpose use of single word, that is done by the Americans. They now take the example as given by the author, the word check. This check word is used multi-purposely in America. I will check means I will find out, investigate, examine, scrutinize, verify, probe, etc. Your check means your ticket, token, whatever. Check room means the room where you can keep your possession. Check girl means with whom you can keep your things. Check in means to arrive. Check out means to depart. So check is the word which is having multi-purpose use. That is the simplification of the language. You can express your feelings easily through a single word, your different feelings through a single word, which is not done by the British. Check word is having confined meaning, confined dictionary meaning in British English, but it is having multi-purpose use in American English. Fabulous, we know the meaning of fabulous, everyone knows it. But in American English, fabulous is used for compliment also and for insinuation also. Insinuation means for unpleasant suggestion. So they are using the words for multi-purpose. Now okay or okay, this is also very comprehensive word, isn't it? It's a self-sufficient word. When we say okay, it's really completely expresses your or our expressions. Now see the example here given by the author, the differences between yes and yeah. The Americans, they use the word yeah, means no other word is added to it and you can express your feelings through this. But when you are saying yes, you need to complete your expression with another word, that is either yes sir, yes ma'am, and this yes involves time, and it is a prolonged use because you need to add more words to it to express your feelings, and this is yes is used by the British people and yeah is used by the Americans. So they simplified their language. Americans, they simplified their English. Again, the author expressed another experience or says in this paragraph, the refinements of the usage in countries where English has a bazaar status are worth a study. Here he says where English is having bazaar status, there need to study, and it is really interesting. While he was travelling in bus in London, he counted how many times the conductor uttered the word thank you, and then he divided the word, his total number of counting the number by 2, and what is the result? That is the amount of passengers present in the bus. So instead of uttering long sentences, we can express our feelings through short words or phrases. That is done by the Americans. In this way they modified their English. A man who wants to pass you always says excuse me, instead of uttering a long sentence like what do you mean by standing there gaping at the world while you block everybody's passage, stand aside man. Instead of saying all these words and long sentences, simply you can express your feeling by saying excuse me. Again the author is saying, when you send your card in, the busy man's secretary appears and whisper in your ear, would you like to wait? Through the tune of yes, though the tune is one of consultation, you have really no choice in the matter. So what he is saying, instead of uttering no, I cannot stand, or yes, I will be waiting for, instead of saying all these things, simply you can express your feelings by saying thank you and taking place there. So there is a way of expression, there is a way of modification, and the Americans followed this way and they simplified their language. Then the author is saying in the last paragraph that the time has come for us to consider seriously the question of a Bharat brand of English. What he is saying, that it is the right time for the Indians also to modify their English. We know that English is the world language and India also, it's the official language. So Indians also need to modify English according to their requirement, as said by the author. As I have said in my essay on English in India, so far English has had a comparatively confined existence in our country, chiefly in the halls of learning, justice or admiration. What the author is saying here, that when he wrote this essay or article, that time in India English was used only by the elite people, chiefly in the halls of learning, justice or admiration. So English was used by a group of people, those who were elite people, they used to speak in English. Now the time is ripe for it is to come to the dusty street, marketplace and under the banyan tree. So what he is saying here, he is saying now it is used by the common people also. So English now is spoken by the common people also. English must adopt the complexion of our life and assimilate its idiom. So he is saying now as the common people are also using English, so it's time to modify English in India also. I am not suggesting here a mongrelization of the language. I am not recommending that we should go back to the days when we heard, particularly in the railways, where a going man. So what he is saying here, he is saying that when he said that we need to modify English here in India, that doesn't mean that we should add words from our regional languages in India to express our feelings in English. Again, he is saying that we also should not follow blindly the British way of speaking English. Bharat English will respect the rule of law and maintain the dignity of grammar. What he is saying, that yes, though we will be speaking in English and that English will follow the dignity of grammar, and that English will be following all the rules and regulations, rules of English grammar, but still have a Swadeshi stamp about it unmistakably. But that English should have a Swadeshi stamp, mean it should be modified according to the requirement of the people of India. And now here he compared the Indian English or Bharat brand of English with Madras handloom check shirt or Tirupati doll, which are original Indian things. How it can be achieved is a question for practical men to tackle. Now at last he is saying that how we can modify English in India, that should be done by the linguists in India. So I think you have understood the chapter. Students, I request you to read the chapter again, and if you find any difficulties and if you have not understood any part, please ask me. Thank you, students.